Test, test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, beautiful. Welcome to the beautiful McPherson Park this afternoon. Round 3 football action in the Ballarat Football Netball League. It is the grand final replay here between the Melton Bloods and Sebastopol. Glad to have all your company join us here live this afternoon. Sam Young bringing you all the action here. Of course, it is a replay, of course, from last year's grand final. These two sides very well, evenly well matched. 5 points only decided them last year in the 2022 grand final. And today, well, we're set up for an absolute cracking afternoon of football. Big team news coming across the desk before action kicked off for the Bloods. Well, they brought back in Brett McIntyre to strengthen up their ruck stocks. But the big news is coming out of Sebastopol. We will see the debut of VFL lister Jesse Clark, and making way with a hamstring complaint is the 2021 Henderson medalist Lachlan Cassidy, going to miss this afternoon. So big loss for the Borough. They do get some, of course, some experience in Clark, the stadium down back. So interesting to see how he operates, a 22-year-old prodigy out of, course, the very good footed factory that St. Joey's have produced over in recent years down in Geelong, and should give Sebas another weapon to support the likes of Lockyer and O'Keefe across there. Players are just going through their final warm-ups here. Melton, of course, started the season in fantastic form in terms of defending their premiership last week. A relatively cruisy victory, of course, against Sunbury, who we thought might be the new challengers this season, but they put any Warriors aside down Clark over and really outplayed them. While Sebastopol, well, they had their way with back smash in round 1. And then, of course, the bye last week, winning by well over 100 points in that victory there. So, evenly matched, two of the sides that we think will feature once again in 2023. It's going to be a fascinating contest, and one that really is going to come down to the wire. For Melton, well, you look in the midfield, that's where it's going to get done this afternoon. Jack Walker averaging 36 touches a game. He's been a superstar. For the Borough, Cassidy leaves a bit of a hole in there. Ben Hutt went in their last game, got collected 31 himself, so he's going to have to pick up the load. The likes of Widgery, the likes of Hill, the likes of Bailey Medwell might spend some bit more time at centre bounces just to try to give him a different look as they look to try to finally, I guess, exercise the demons that Melton have put in front of them. Over 1,300 days since they beat the Bloods here. It's going to be a cracking contest live this afternoon here at McPherson Park. Players finally just moving into their last positions here. Melton kicking with a slight assisted breeze here, probably only 2 to 3 goals. To the right of your screen, McIntyre's set in the rack to start things off, going against big Arnold Kirby. Big important in the off-season. The worst kept secret in the Ballarat Football League, came across from the Territory. It's going to definitely, add the hole that was left by James Richards, the Borough's best in last year's grand final. We're ready to go here at McPherson Park. It's Melton taking on Sebastopol live. We get off with McIntyre versus Kirby. Kirby gets his hands on this one, but only in the hands of Walker. Fumbled out of their heart. Spoke about pre-game, wrapped up immediately, and maybe an anticlimactic start to get things underway. Another ball up in the middle of the beautiful sunbathing here at McPherson Park. Back underway. Kirby again, but try and take this one away for the Bloods was immediately brought down again by Hart. Trying to get through there was O'Brien. Come across from North Ballarat in the off-season to John O'Brien. Kirby again was looking for Dummett this time. Now Hutt, and finally some clear extraction. Gets boot to ball towards half forward. Looking for his brother Toby. Marks on his chest. So Toby Hart with it, 70 from goal, wheels around, drill the ball in the pathing of the Paps. Getting back in the hole was Cotter. Off the mark, ball in dispute. Right foot kick around the body will go towards the goal face and all the way to the line. But in the end, Heaney on the last line of defence just tucked through for the minor score. The opening score of the game has gone the way of the Borough. We've only played a minute or so to kick things off here at McPherson Park. Cotter, as he always does, will do the kicking in duties for the Bloods. Will use all of his 15 metres, you would imagine, as always, to get this as long and far out of his defence. Looks to go towards the outer side from our broadcast position. From the front was O'Shea, couldn't complete the mark for Sebas. Quick kick, trying to come around the body, but it was O'Keefe, lovely smother, and ball goes out of play in between half forward and centre wing on the outer side. One behind, Sebastopol lead things here in the early stages at McPherson Park. Round 3 action in McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. We'll get back underway here with, of course, Kirby and McIntyre to re-jostle. Kirby wins it down. Walker coming through, boots a ball. We'll go towards centre wing. Lockyer from the side. Couldn't complete the mark. Ball in dispute, but Lockyer was classily get the ball back towards his coaching keel. Finds a teammate. Kirby in the link up. Didn't have to give it back. Decides to go by foot towards centre half forward. Was looking for Paps, who was caught behind on this occasion. Suter, the best on ground in last year's grand final, coughed it up on this occasion though. Kirby had to get down low to the big fella. Found its way towards Latch. With the handball off to Medwell. Silky mover off that step. Missed his target, and now Melton with some clear run. Carter, a long way from goal, just bangs it to a vacant half forward line. O'Keefe will be the one to mop up Sebastopol. Goes for a run, but unfortunately couldn't keep the ball in the field of play for the Borough fans who have made the trip up the highway this afternoon. We'll get a ball in between half forward, centre wing on the outer side. So Melton, first time really in attack for them. What can they muster this afternoon? Kirby knocked it down. Trying to go off the deck there was Keel. Bounced straight back to him. Quick kick there coming from McIntyre towards true centre half forward. Big fly from Hamley. Couldn't complete the mark. Lockie got the spoil in there. Melton with the numbers on the deck. Ericsson. Kick was smothered there. Well done by Sebas. Lockyer will mop things up as always. Drills the ball towards centre wing. At the feet there for Paps. Couldn't collect on the bounce. Opportunity here for Melton, but the follow-up tackle by Paps was superb and he's gone. Holding the ball. Free kick the way of Sebastopol. Trying to get through there was Rouse. And now Paps to set up the Borough in attack on true centre wing broadcast side. Hugo drills it inside 50. The deepest forward. All Melton players go up though unopposed. In the end, the ever-impressive Phillips takes the mark. Across his defence and Melton look to spread. This is what they're very good at, their chip mark game. By hand to Carter. Looking back towards Cotter. He'll continue the run, but looks backwards towards Carter, and they just try to reassess things inside deep defensive 50. This kick's got to be good. It's across the face of Cohen, just inside the field of play, finds Suter. He'll go back to where it came from, back towards Phillips, and they'll just control possession here, get a bit of tempo in the game. Short kick will find Walker. He marks. Averaging 20 disposals a game this year, Lockie Walker. Very much increased his workload in the off-season. You can see it with his stat output, and finds Jack Walker. We know how good he is. Has Ericsson loose on the wing, but decides to go shorter to find Rouse. Bring him into the game a little bit after being caught holding the ball. He goes over top and finds Kite. This is of the Jordan variety. And he has Walker breaking for him on centre wing. He marks. Riley Walker plays on. Upper that says to go. Bambury stops and props and waits. In the end, the high kick will go towards half forward. Lockie in best position couldn't complete the mark. Bambury on the deck couldn't gather. Davis with the hand pass was clever. Off the Kite towards full forward. Trying to take the mark there was Brain Kite. He couldn't quite do so. Keel deep in the fence. Mops things up with a nice sweeping hand pass to Crone. Now the Borough from fullback will find its way to Hutt. Deep inside the fence, 50. Nice kick to the outside. Finds a big man in Kirby. And Sebas are just starting to settle into this contest with a nice kick towards Toby. I didn't mark, but able to continue to go away from Heaney. Kick towards half was in the Keeble direction. Over his head to finds way to Stowe. Back to Keeble. Inside forward 50. Looking for Paps. 1-on-1 contest. Bouncing ball. Straight off the tackle. There's Paps. Steadies. Right foot dribbling kick. Will bounce all the way through. And the opening goal today is going to go the way of Sebastopol. It's Hugo Paps. They move to 1-1-7 here at McPherson Park. Of course, the swingman from last season, Hugo Paps, spent time forward, down back, of course, years before. Kicks his third goal of the season. He's the leading goal kicker at Sebastopol so far in the early stages of 2023. A great start by the Borough. Mick Colombo in the box to be happy with how things have started. Luke Keel, his co-coach, just marshalling the trips behind the footy, looking very good in the early stages here as they made the trip up the highway and kicking against a slight breeze. They'll be happy with that. Back underway here. McIntyre gets his hands on this one. Big tackle by Medwell to lock things up, and the umpire says, we'll get another restart in the middle of McPherson Park. Back underway here. McIntyre again decisively. O'Brien gets boots the ball, dribbling towards half forward. Carter couldn't quite deal with this one. Bouncing ball will be locked up. Umpire circles and says, give it to me. About 60 from goal at true centre half forward. 5.5 minutes played. According to the electronic scoreboard, adjacent from our broadcast position here at McPherson Park. We're back underway. Melton player went without it. Be a free kick. Go the way of the ever-crafty Davis. Plays on, drilling left foot kick in the Carter direction. Full stretch, 1, 2, 3 bites of the cherry. Couldn't bring it down. Ball in dispute and seen how to play. Ryan Carr's kicked 9 goals, leading goal kicker in the competition this year thus far. Couldn't hang on to that one as it's gone out of play. Melton, though, trying to get on the scoreboard. McIntyre doing a big stint in the ruck. Don't be surprised if O'Brien does a bit of work throughout the afternoon as well as support. And that man I speak of almost sharked it from there was O'Brien. Quick kick by Melton, will dribble inside 50. Clever knockback there by the captain and Kite. Looking for his teammate in Watkins. Up against the boundary line, he couldn't get a handle on. Had a big Kirby bearing down on him. And in the end, I know why he went towards the boundary line. He was happy to see it out of play. 55 from goal. Outside of the forward 50 for Melton. Kirby and McIntyre will continue their jostle. McIntyre wins this one. O'Shea, good foot candy, but just left behind in the end with the contest. And O'Brien mops things up here to Watkins. Inside forward 50, a bouncing ball. Tough one for O'Keefe to deal with in defence. Opens the door here for the Bloods. Mahito went without it. Bywaves play on. Bouncing kick there was good by Banbury. Forbes gives it off to Medwell. They're able to stop and shot and prop with the kick. It's a nice one to find. Dummett takes the mark. Grills one, looking for the lead there. Stowe, it's an absolute beauty down the heart of McPherson Park, right in the chest. 35 out, mark is taken. And Liam Stowe will line up for Sebastopol's second here. Great start by the Borough, can be capitalised off with Liam Stowe. It's a couple in round one. As he got his kicking boots on today. Stowe starts his approach now from 40. Leans back on it a little bit, and you can see with the kick as it drifts to the right. And it's a minor score, 1-2-8 is now Sebastopol leading Melton yet to score in the early stages here. Round 3 action in the McDonald's at Ballarat Football Netball League. Cotter once again to kick in. And now asks to be waved on by the umpire. He looks long and towards the outside. High ball. Son, a problem for a few of the big men, but a nice mark there in the pack by Carter. We paid. He had no issues, protected it well. Short kick by, we'll find a man over the top. On the far side of the ground, Kite off to Watkins. Back to Kite, but he left it behind, and now Kirby's got him. Ball in dispute. Sebastopol on the turnover. Hand pass inside will find his way to Dummett. We'll drill it once again in the Kiwi direction. We'll have 2 to beat in the end. Cotter getting back. Did so well, unopposed, took the mark. Copped a little bit of attention from Keeble. But Geordie's a tough customer. He'll be fine. Deep in the heart of his defence. Sebas can't allow him to continue to do that all afternoon. He'll have a field day. Long kick in the Mahito direction. Hits him on the chest. He marks. The surprise packer from last season burst on scene. Won himself a premiership. As off the instep, the kick. Walker. Drilled in the tackle there. Was it dangerous? Umpire agrees it was. Free kick will go the way of Walker. Got that one exactly right. Back to Mahito. Towards half forward with the kick. Couldn't quite bring it down. Hand pass is a good one. Finds its way there to Sullivan. Left it behind. Coming through there was Russell, and he's going nowhere. Just the attacking side of centre wing on the broadcast side here. We'll have a stoppage. 9.5 minutes played in the opening term. Back on the way, Kirby and McIntyre. Kirby with his hands on this to Dummett. Shoveled it out there towards Crone. Nice hand passes. Well, O'Keefe dropped one he probably should have held on to. Opened the door coming through there was for Rouse. Him in a hot footy contest there with Latch. And Latch on the bottom of the pack is wrapped up. And we'll get another stoppage. Hot footy between these two top sides in the Ballarat Football Netball League. And we're back underway. McIntyre wins this one down. We're going nowhere. Wrapped up immediately was Geordie Kite, confronted by Dummett. Kirby again, once against McIntyre, and wins this one down. Widgery coming through. Couldn't quite gather. Dummett, been impressive early. Maybe held without it. Umpire waves play on. Widgery to Kirby. Clever hand pass. Finds a way to Dummett. And now Latch on that non-preferred side. Nice kick finds Forbes. The unlucky man from last season who missed out in that grand final. Started the year well with 3 goals last week and drills this one inside 50 to Paps. He couldn't complete the mark. Melton come away with it. Phillips drops one he normally would hold on to. Might open the door for Sebastopol inside 50. Hand pass over top. Finds its way to Toby Hart. And they're off to the perfect start. Turnovers have been the killer at the start. Melton here just can't get their run and gun going whatsoever. And Toby Hart's made them pay. 2-2-14. Samas leads Melton yet to score here at the home ground, McPherson Park. We get back underway here once again with McIntyre and Kirby. Going early was McIntyre to win it down. Tight. Maybe out without it. Umpire says no. Putt was hot on his hammer. Off the deck went Kirby. We'll just dribble towards the half forward line. Stowe. Couldn't quite gather. Melton getting the numbers back. Maybe in the back for the Bloods, but umpire waves play on. Kite. Watkins. Nice kick. Should find Carter. Strong hands as always. Holds the mark. This is of the Liam variety. Centre wing, virtually opposite from our broadcast position, has it. Comes in ball to Watkins. Racking him up as he always does. And they look further afield. So Melton just trying to control possession. No chip passes on offer and they use it. Walker will be able to drill this one inside 50. In the end, just pulled it a little bit towards Carter and read it like a book there. Did Tony Lockyer come across, left his man and punched it out of bounds. We'll get a ball in front of the electronic scoreboard. It reads 12 minutes to play. 2-2-14. Sebastopol lead Melton yet to score. Back underway here at the half forward line. McIntyre got his hands on this one. Quick kick there by Kite. Will dribble inside 50. Chrome with the hand pass. Knocked out of the hands of Kirby by Kite. And we'll get a restart in the exact same position. About 55 from goal for Melton. Yet the score, as I've mentioned a couple of times here, and really yet to really pose any threat on the Sebastopol defence thus far. The Bar very well organised, a very well run machine, led by, of course, their coach, Luke Keel. Over the back, Kite. Well, he wasn't the nominated ruckman, and he dropped the ball, and that's why it's the free kick's been picked out. Boundary umpire gave a little bit too much than that one, and it fell in Kite's lap. Wasn't really a lot you could do about it, the co-captain. Hand pass off here. There's opportunity for Clark for the first time this afternoon. Silky move. Kick had a little bit too much on for Medwell. Might still work out for Forbes. He coughed it up. Now Melton will drill it inside 50 with Watkins. Hanley's got separation. Bounces up in the air. Tough one to deal with. Kirby knocks it to the back. Opportunity coming through. A goal for Melton is always going to happen there. Looks like Scoble coming through. My correction is actually Sullivan with that one. As Melton get on the board from a mistake there from Sebastopol's defence after we wrapped them up. It's 1 goal straight, 6, trailing 2-2-14. The Borough by 8 points here at McPherson Park. 13.5 minutes played in the opening term. Despite being two of the top sides in the competition in recent seasons, a couple of mistakes at either end have decided in goals. One to Hutt, and then one there to Brodie Sullivan. Of course, joined from crosstown rivals, the Panthers in the off-season. Big story in this part of the world. And showing up for his side so far this season with 5 goals. Hutt in the ruck, wins this one down. Coming through was Medwell with strength, broke 2 tackles, and now a third says, get out of my way. And with the hand bars off there to his coach and Keel, drilling ball towards half forwards, an absolute beauty. Mark taken by Paps, plays on immediately, looking for the leading man, and Keeble didn't get there. Hill off the deck, tried to sock it to his own advantage. In the end, the boundary line wins out, and we'll get a ball in. At 35 from goal, umpires just having a conversation if it went out on the full or not. Central come in just to check, and they do confirm that it will be a throw-in, 35 from goal. So Sebas dominating the clearance stakes at the minute. Bit of ascendancy in the ruck between Kirby and Hart. Back underway. McIntyre wins it down on this occasion, though. And it'll be a stoppage with Dummett going nowhere. Scoble had him. Against the breeze, the Burrows still making a great fist of this one. The deck, we're trying to go McIntyre. Cut of the Ben variety. Now, was that dangerous? The umpire will have a decision to make. He says no. We see, of course, that a big talking point in the AFL in recent weeks. The umpire on this occasion says no, that one was fine. Let us show some aggression in the tackle. Off the deck went Sebas and went O'Shea. Medwell to the forward pocket region. It dribbles out of play. Was looking for Keeble, who throwing his weight around there down to full forward. Yet to really touch it, though. Of course, kicked three of the most remarkable goals in that grand final and was arguably the best on ground in a losing side. Back underway. McIntyre, Hart, trying to go quickly out of the air, couldn't get boot to ball. Kite with the outside of the boot. Umpire says he paid the mark and it's been taken. Brazil sliding in on hands and knees has got it. 48 from goal. Another one on the crop that's come from the footy factory at St. Joey's. So, line up for goal for his first one ever in the blue and gold, but honoured the lead of Sebas and of Medwell there into the pocket, and he's decided to palm it off. So, saw someone a bit close to the goal, unselfish. One way to get your teammates to like it when you're joining from a new club is just to pass them off at times. Tough kick here in these blustery conditions. But Medwell will start his approach. Tucked up in the right forward pocket. Kick is on its way now. Umpire doesn't have to move. It's an absolute beauty. And great start here for Sebas. They've moved to 3-2-20. Whilst Melton have just got the one goal on 6. Almost 17 minutes been played here at McPherson Park. Sebastopol leading by 14 points. Hutt in the ruck against McIntyre here. Being surprised that O'Brien hasn't had a crack in the middle yet. Averaging 20 hits a game for the Bloods this year. Hutt decisively pounds it forward. Mahito coming off the wing, left it behind. Walker wrapped up, coughed it up to Forbes, who's wrapped up as true centre forward in the end. We'll get a ball up. As we approach time on the opening term, another Sebastopol goal might spell early disaster. As Dummett coming through, didn't quite gather. Scoble had Forbes. Went a second time, did Forbes. And in the end, was well held there by Rouse, who came in from the side to wrap things up. Pretty much the true centre of the ground here. An arm wrestle that's been well controlled by Sebastopol in the clutches, and particularly the game's getting done here in the midfield. Hutt wins it down. Walker got down dirty. That's Jack to Lockie. Now to Kite to Suter. Right foot kick towards the outside. Been well read and well cut off there by Crone. Floated off his direct opponent. Took a nice grab. Geordie Crone will play on. Was looking for Stowe, but getting back was Kite. Took the mark. 25 disposals, 8 tackles last week was for Geordie Kite, and he draws a long one towards half forward and towards Carter. Second by the Cherry takes the mark, plays on, low pass is a good one, finds Davis. That slingshot style of Melton that become famous for in the last few seasons on full display there. The tall's getting up high, the small's working back hard. And Ryan Davis is taking the grab. Kick right on 50. Of course, won the reserves best and fairest last season. Couldn't get a game in the seniors. Has had his chance this year, a couple of goals on each. Wants to palm this one off there to honour his lead of his captain, Kite. And it's a good one. He takes the mark in the left forward pocket. So Kite with it. Normally a beautiful kick for goal. Might be a little bit far out for him to go around the body for him. So he might set up for the drop punt, 30 metres or so. Yet to get a big one this season in 2 games. Kite. Kick is on its way. Always near side off the boot. In the end, he's failed to even register a score for Melton. After I wrapped him up being such a beautiful kick, let me down. So Zavas will come out of defence with O'Keefe as they lead 14 points. Looking for Kirby. Second by the cherry got it, but took it over the line. So not clean by the big man from Sebastopol. And now Melton will get another chance to try to get one as we're ticking the time on in the opening term here. 14 points the margin. Round 3 action in the Ballarat Football Netball League. O'Brien now in the ruck. Won it down off his back, but only as far as Widgery. He got boots the ball. Nice kick in the latch direction in the end, just over his head. Had a bit of time and space, did latch, but couldn't come away with that one for Sebast. Defensive side of centre wing for them. Down jump, I guess, back underway. O'Brien wins it down. Widgery again sharked it. O'Shea left it behind. Walker trying to shovel at the hand pass. Umpire waves play on. Medwell's been superb early with the hand pass. Off to the latch. Back to Medwell. Was confronted and broke the tackle just in time. The Borough drill on one down the line. Stowe in best position. Knocked away there by Heaney. Phillips getting back from Melton. Confronted by Keeble. The two number 9s collide and the ball goes out of play. Now at the attacking end of for Sebastopol. Keeble and Phillips played on each other a number of times last season. Points either way. Real tiebreaker, if you will, this afternoon. I have to say, despite Sebastopol leading, points have to go the way of Phillips. Kirby didn't try to take out the ruck this time. Watkins with the hand pass. Found his way to Walker. Inside to O'Brien. Off halfback. Drills a long one towards the outside. Hanley couldn't quite bring it down. Waiting down on this occasion was Carter. Hand pass and hope towards his brother more than anything. Had the safety at the boundary line and used it. We'll get a ball in, attacking side of centre wing for Melton. Ball virtually opposite from our broadcast position on that far side of McPherson Park. 14 points to margin here. 3-2-20. Sebastopol leads Melton just a 1 goal straight. 6. Umpire's going to pick out a free kick for a hold. It's going to go the way of Medwell. Said pre-game, in the absence of Cassidy, he would have to step up on the inside. Had 24 disposals in round 1 and coming up with probably close to his 10th already to kick things off here. It's been superb on the inside. As we're just going to wait for a bit of a blood rule here. Melton player coming off. This brings McPherson Park, which is still bathed in beautiful sunshine, might add, ladies and gentlemen. Cracking day for football this afternoon. A little bit of breeze, but nothing to take away from these two quality sides. We'll restart on the far side with Medwell, and he goes short with the kick. Finds Widgery, who takes the mark. Going to be waved to play on. In the end, the non-officiating umpire is going to bring it all the way back to Medwell. Said the game wasn't ready to restart, and in the end, we'll get the restart that we thought we had. Strange moment of football. Everyone perplexed as I am as we're back on the way. Looking for Forbes. Scoble got the fist in there. Cotter at the back of the pack. Plays on with the hand pass. Looking there for Kite. Overcooked it. Medwell again with that don't argue. Gets away from a whoopie tackler. Sebast by hand there through Widgery, but umpire said he threw it away. Free kick all the way of Melton. So the Bloods have it now with Davis. He'll play on. Drill it towards half forward. Looking for Carter. One hand. Couldn't take the mark. Ball on the deck. Melton trying to rush it forward. Opportunity here for Mahito with the left foot kick. Will dribble towards half forward. Sullivan leaves it for at the back for Walker. Went between his legs. Still a chance for Davis. Wheels and deals and handballs at the back to Watkins. Off one step. Drills it into the pocket. Looking for Carter. And in the end, overcooked it. It went out on the full. And again, some costly foot use by the Bloods, hurting them in front of the attacking side of the ground. Short kick will find Medwell. He's everywhere. Marks inside defensive 50. Gives it back to the impressive Clark. Almost run down from behind. Got boots the ball just in time. Might cause a turnover here for Melton. Left it behind. Coming through with Hanley. Cut. Brought to ground. Spun 360. Didn't get boots ball. Holding the ball. Free kick. Got away with Sullivan. Plays on. Drills it inside 50. Towards full forward. Both men wrestle. Hits the deck. Where's the Crummer and Davis? Kept it in front. In the end, the numbers prevail. Crone seeming it through for a minor score. First blemish of the afternoon for Melton, 117, trails 3-2-20. Playing on to nowhere in particular was Banbury. In the end, just decides to bomb it straight down the middle of Thurston Park. Scope with the spoil. Potter coming through, wrapped up by Forbes, and in the end, I think the bar would have taken that after the quick play on. Didn't really eventuate the way Banbury was planning. So we're in the true centre of the ground here. 13 points to the margin. As we're pushing towards quarter time here. Unopposed was O'Brien in the ruck. No nominated ruckman for Sebas. Looking for Sullivan by hand. Coming through there was Lawler. He couldn't quite gather. Russell at the back. Found Suter lurking. He's kicked half forward though. Is the no one in particular. Keel. Got the protection to get away and drills it down the line. Forbes going to have to beat two. Suter makes a man's nice mark. Backing back. Best on ground, of course, in the grand final last year was Blakey Suter. Very workman's-like performance from in the start so far. Finds Phillips in defence. Been one of the Blood's best. To Cotter, heel mark. Melton happy to go into a bit of slow play here as we approach quarter time. And Mahito will come out towards Kite on the broadcast side. Nice grab. On halfback at full stretch from the captain. Chips at just the required 15 over the top and finds Walker of the Riley variety for all those playing at home. Goes across McPherson Park towards Truce and halfback, and Melton want to try to have a bit of a switch through the middle of the ground if they will. Short kick, off hands, Scoble, maybe it went over the shoulder. Umpire said no. Still Scoble. Up and under hand pass, nice tap there by Cotter. Coming through for the Bloods was Wills Hanley. Drills it towards centre half forward. Opportunity here for the Bloods. But it pops out by hand once again. Hut to Forbes. Has nothing to kick to really, so just bangs on the boot and hope. Walker got his hands to it but couldn't complete the mark. Now Keeble, hand pass off, finds Hill, looking towards the goal face, has Stowe breaking from the goal square, and the kick was perfect. Inch perfect from Jed Hill. Stowe sliding in the goal square, takes the mark, and Sebastopol going to pop through their fourth. Wonderful play. Not necessarily known as a high possession player at times, Jed Hill, but when he gets it, he always makes something happen. And that was a great goal assist there for Stowe. His first of the day becomes Sebastian's fourth goal kicker of the afternoon, joining the likes of Matt, Jed Hill, and Hugo Paps. 27 minutes played, 4-2-26 leads 1-1-7 here at McPherson Park. Sebas off to the perfect start, similar to what it was, of course, in the semi-final last year where they jumped Melton 7-0 in the opening term. The Bloods then turned it around and ran over the top of them. Is history going to repeat itself? We'll find out here live in the McDonald's Bella Football Network League's round 3 action between Melton and Sebastopol live at McPherson Park. Back underway, Kirby knocked it to himself in the end, bombs it inside 50. Hill put the one hand up, couldn't complete the mark. It's off the deck. Latch at the back. Down O'Keefe off the left side towards full forward. Stowe crashed the pack, couldn't complete the mark. Melton with the numbers on the deck. Scoble spun and dropped it on the ground, said the umpire. Once you touch the ground, you're always in trouble. And on to the quarter time siren. Jed Hill will line up tucked in the right forward pocket. Sharp angle, of course, can't run around because the siren has sounded. Go back. So Hill will line up. Tough kick. As I said, he's not necessarily known for a high possessions, but when he gets it, something happens. Had that wonderful score assist only moments ago with the outside the boot. The banana kicks on its way, but not going to come back. And in the end, not going to register a score here. It's quarter time at McPherson Park. Melton trail 1-1-7. Sebastopol doing all the scoring 4-2-26. We're back soon live at McPherson Park.
The McValue Bundle at Macca's. A choice of your favourite burgers, together with fries and drinks for just $26.95. Did we just find something the whole family can agree on?
Push buttons to park magically.
Welcome back to McPherson Park. Players moved back in position here for the second term. Sebastopol leading 4-2, 26 to Melton 1-1-7. Goals to Hutt, Hill, and Snow. Whilst for the Bloods, the only goal kicker coming from ex-Panther, Brodie Sullivan. Sebastopol against the Breeze, 3 goals, perfect start. You couldn't ask for anything better if you're Mick Colombo or Luke Keel. Then they really wrestle some intensity in the contest and add some scoreboard pressure in the second term here live. Round 3 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League, and we're underway once again. O'Brien shovels it hand pass towards Walker. McIntyre missed Walker on the return. O'Shea off the dummet. Now Sebastopol through the middle was looking for Medwell. Probably BOG in the first quarter. And look at that with the pick out. Little slice and dice through the midfield if you don't mind. Punch from behind away was looking for his target and Hill. Watkins on hands and knees. Maybe in the back was coming through was Dummett. Umpire waves play on. Whistle's been put away this afternoon. Hand pass there will find its way towards Clark. Hill, creative outside the foot kick. In the end was really up and under, and mark's been taken by Melton. As they look to reassess here through rolls. High kick towards centre wing on the outside. Lockyer. Haven't seen a lot of it. Not a bad thing for Sebastopol. They've been in real control through the midfield. Couldn't complete the mark on this occasion. Hanley, but the defensive job on him just was able to lock things up on true centre wing, virtually opposite from our broadcast position. Arnold Kirby in the ruck here against McIntyre. Big man wins it down. The Hutt trying to find Latch. Stood up in the tackle and got it back to Ben Hutt. Wobbly kick will go to half forward. Keeble takes the mark. First time he's able to clunk one. And he plays on immediately. At full forward, he has Forbes. Kicks in the Paps direction instead from the side. Hugo Paps couldn't complete the mark. Heaney did enough. Although he's coughed it up. Back to Paps. Got a handy hand in there. And went and he signed with the kick. It's really made a mess of that, did Heaney in the fence. Had a bit of time, but took all the time in the world. And in the end, Paps almost stole it and goaled it. But a minor score here. Down the middle goes Cotter. Lockyer with the fist towards centre forward. Quick kick there coming from Sebastopol. Oh, sliding in. Should have gobbled that one up. Dropped the mark. Let off for Melton. Suda put the head down. Umpires waves play on. And we'll get a stoppage. 30 from goal. 30 metres out. Attacking in for Sebastopol. Knocked down there by Kirby. Fisted forward by Rolls. McIntyre. Clever hand pass finds way to Watkins. Bombs it out of the fence. Looking for Carter. Throwing with the spoil. Off hands and knees. Sebastian shovel out, trying to gain some vital territory. He's going to come back though. Watkins off there to Sullivan. Ex-Panthers combined. Back to Walker. Mahito. Watkins. Inside 50. Carter's got the sit at the back. O'Keefe did enough. Ball in dispute. Banbury's kick smothered. Fell on the lap almost a kite. Couldn't quite gobble it up. O'Shea chasing Kite. He gives the hand pass towards O'Brien. Off one step. Hangs it to the goal face. Carter couldn't take the mark, and in the end it dribbles through for a minor score. Scoreboard reads 1-8 here at McPherson Park. Sebastopol 4-4-28. Sorry, 4-3-27. Correction. As Banbury will bring it back in the true fullback position. It's got the play on now by the umpire. As man short, but in the end, like before, when his early kick out goes pretty much down the middle, held up on this occasion, and McIntyre floated across. One to play on with hands. Found Watkins, sweeping ball to Mahito, rips to 40, lungs them up, and kicks Melton's first of the quarter. It's a game of turnovers here this afternoon. You cough it up, the opposition's going to hurt you. Adrian Mahito with his first goal of the day, number 3 for the season, if you don't mind. 2-2-14 trails, 4-3-27 here. Played almost 4 minutes in the second term at McPherson Park. Once again, have Kirby and McIntyre do their battle. Kirby over the top. Gets the clearance as well. That was a big fella in the 99 jersey. Wobbly kick. Heaney couldn't deal with it. Opportunity here for Sebastopol to drill it towards the top of the goal square. Stowe and Walker. Walker with the fist. Hill in the pocket. Keeble coming through. Sees it to the line. Then Sebastopol in that middle have been dominant. You would have thought pre-game, no Henderson Medalist and Lockie Cassidy, that'd be their downfall, but they are smashing the Bloods at the coalface in the middle, the likes of Kirby, Medwell, all getting their hands on it constantly. But with the knockdown this time, it's going the way of the Bloods. Walker's kick will clear defensive 50. O'Keefe in a foot race with Ericsson. Wants to go back to his trusty left side. Sweeping hand pass was a poor one. Ericsson coughed it up himself. Banbury, good bit of composure. O'Keefe fumbles. Hand pass will find its way to Hutt. He fumbled as well. Has enough time back to Banbury. Gives it off there to Clark. Nice kick, finds its target and Keeble. You just show there's a little bit of class there. He chips it the required 15 over the top, looking for Medwell coming back, and he takes the mark. Looks to go a bit more central with the kick, and it's a smart option. Finds Ben Hart 40 out directly in front. So Ben Hart will line up for goal. Directly in front here. 40 metres out. 31 disposals in Sebastopol's round one clash against Back Smash. Been on the fringe for the last couple of seasons, really found himself a home inside midfield. Can he add a bit of goal-kicking prowess? He certainly can. And he joins his brother on the score sheet this afternoon. Does Benny Hutt with the goal. And the Borough get their fifth for the afternoon. Joins the likes of Toby, as I said, Paps, Hill and Stowe as goal kickers for Sebastopol, whilst Melton, Sullivan and Mojito have the goals for them. 5 goals, 33. It leads 2-2. 14, 6 minutes gone in the second term here. An instant response, if you will, from Sebastopol as they continue to be the leaders here at McPherson Park. We'll get back underway here with Kirby and McIntyre. McIntyre wins it down. Walker offed it up to Widgery, and the Borough go through the midfield again. Left foot kick inside 50. Stowe complete the mark. Ball in dispute. Keeble coming through. Didn't get his opponent high. Next he did, though, the umpire. Saw what I saw, and free kick will go the way of Melton. Let off here with Heaney with it in defence. And he comes across to find Suter. Had Phillips short if he wanted. Ignored that to start with. Taking his time. And in the end, Phillips has been there for an eternity. He does get it. Marks inside his defensive 50. High one down the line. One for the Flyers, if you will. Lockyer, always up there. Widgery weighing down. Kick was smothered up the boot. Won't be paid to Hutt. Phillips, to just jostle towards the boundary line. I mean, every time he plays for Melton, he's just Mr. Serviceable, as Lockie Phillips. Rarely makes a mistake. Has a big job on Keeble this afternoon. Has kept him relatively quiet. Back underway. Kirby with a big tap. Widgery coming through, didn't gather. Heaney going nowhere. Hutt has him. McIntyre gets boot the ball to clear. Defensive 50. In dispute, Carter left it behind. Mojito, right foot kick into a vacant centre half was forward position. Foot race on in earnest. Kite gets there first for Melton. Has a vacant 50 to aim at. And in the end, Davis has floated in unopposed and marks. Good gut run again from the veteran. Getting back towards the full forward position. Not for the first time this afternoon. This time, he doesn't look like he's going to pass it off. He's going to line up with the big sticks directly in front. 40 from goal. Been in goal kicking form, as I mentioned earlier in the call. A couple in each game so far. This time, beautiful operator. Doesn't miss many. Should just start the right-hand goalpost and let do the work. And he does that. Melton get one back. 3-2. 20 trails. 5-3-33 here. Live at McPherson Park. Round 3 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. 13 points your margin. Goal for goal here to start the second term. Davis the latest. Earlier. And a goal, of course, to Benat for Sebastopol. Played 9 minutes. We're back underway in the middle of the ground. One down by McIntyre on this occasion. Walker on his hands and knees is wrapped up immediately. And in the end, we'll get another stoppage. To restart. Back underway. Kirby decisively. Hart left it behind. Walker, the Lachlan variety. Around the body towards half forward for Carter. Gets away from Crone. Inside hand pass was looking there for Hanley. He couldn't gather. Opportunity now for Sebastopol through Crone to come off half back. He was run down from behind. Lockyer just ducked ahead and tried to burst his way through. Umpire didn't say that was prior opportunity, and then in the end, going to elect to ball it in the air in between half forward and centre wing on the outside. Back underway. Kirby again decisively. Big man's been good for Sebastopol this afternoon. Widgery with strength, bust off his opponent, drills it towards half forward, gets out the back where he likes to be, steadies from 48, lines up the goal face, and just to the near side. Another behind from Hugo, looking dangerous inside forward 50 this afternoon, especially when he can get his opponent out the back. Couldn't capitalise on this occasion. 5-4-34 leads, 3-2-20. As Cotter, for the fourth time this afternoon, will bring the ball back in the field of play. Looks broadcast side, looking for Carter. And yes, Ryan Carter takes the mark. Long way away from goal for him. Pushing up high this afternoon. Kicks in the kite direction. Went between him. Allows Riley Walker to run onto it. He left it behind. Ericsson tried to take on the keel tackle, and umpire says we'll throw it in. Ericsson, one of the unlucky few to miss a lot of senior footy last year. And that great Melton side, getting his opportunity with a few exits in the off-season. The strutty stuff. High working half forward wingman. Usually down, and Kite's going nowhere. Backed up immediately by Dummett. Two of the clubs, respectively hard nuts, collide. McIntyre with strength, twisted it forward. Ben Hutt, who's been everywhere in this term, towards half forward. Rolls worked his way to the front, but couldn't complete the mark. Cotter looked to go back towards Rolls. In the end, Keeble, he came across and he just strutted himself nicely to see it out of play. 11.5 gone, 14 points to margin. Attacking side of centre wing and the broadcast side for Sebastopol. And we're back underway. Kirby wins it down. Dummett gets the clearance and sends it inside 50. Stowe in front position. Looks to give it to the dangerous Keeble. Tried to shake and bake his way past Phillips. Couldn't do so. Just elected by hand. Cotter. Corralled. Hand pass finds way to Hill. Got boot to ball. Actually went to the face of Keeble. Remarkably, the ball stayed in the field of play here. Down the line it goes. Double fisted there by O'Keefe. Lockyer tripped over. And in the end, we'll get a ball in. A lot of props to Hanley. And opposition number 5, just doing a good job on the captain Lockyer. Barely really featured for his illustrious standards. Back underway. Kirby wins it down. Might be taken by his opposing ruckman and McIntyre. Big man try to get down, pick it up. Still might work out the numbers. Opportunity here for Russell. He drills it inside 50. Carter's in front. Only elect to go with the one hand on the way down. In the end, he's coughed it up. Now Lockyer, true centre half back. Long ball out to a vacant centre wing on the outer side. Foot race on. Cotter and Latch. Latch has the safety of the boundary line, and that's where he went towards as we'll get a ball in. Virtually opposite from our broadcast position on the outside. We've played almost 13 minutes into this second term. 3-2-20 Melton trails Sebastopol 5-4-34 here. Live round 3 action in the Ballarat Football Netball League. We're back underway. In front was Kirby. Wins it down. Widgery. Was he legged? Umpire says no. In the end, he said he threw it away. And it's a free kick going out of the way of Melton. Short kick there by Walker. Finds Kite. Measures it. Finds Jack Walker, plays on as the co-captain and drills it inside 50. He's looking towards Carter. From the side there was O'Keefe, couldn't complete the mark. Lockyer got down low, got hands to it, but might have coughed it up. Opportunity for Melton. Carter, left foot snap on the goal face is there. Lovely finish from the leading goal kicker in the competition. Ryan Carter gets Melton back-to-back goals for the first time this afternoon. 4 goals to 26 trails, 5-4-34. Live at McPherson Park. Number 10 of the season there for Carter, the Rhyme variety. Of course, the leading goal kicker last year in the competition, off to a flying start once again. Back underway here. McIntyre wins it down. Dummet, though, sharked it. Sebas dominating the sending clearance stakes. The Kirby take him on. Umpire said yes. Free kick will go the way of the Bloods. Walker gives it off there to Mojito. Broke the tackle. Got boots of ball and drills it inside 50. Looking for the hot hand of Carter. Couldn't take the mark. Ball in dispute. Sullivan overran it. Davis with strength. Doffed it up on this occasion. Keel comes away with it. Left foot kicks a nice one towards the outside. Hutt, full extension, can complete the mark. Melton gets some support across to defend this one. That man, spills out in the tackle. Mojito comes away with it. Has a bit of space to run into. Drills it inside 50. Looking for Carter. In the end, really wasn't looking to mark against Lockyer. And they both fisted towards the line. We'll get a ball in. 45 from goal. Sebas, we're on top of the opening term. Melton just flicked the switch here a little bit. Back-to-back goals. Pressing for a third. 8 points to the margin here. Arnold, Kirby, and Brett McIntyre in the ruck. McIntyre wins it down, but straight to Sebastopol. They come away with it with ease. Medwell, spearing pass. Heaney couldn't cut this one off. Hutt took the tackle from Heaney to the ground, and we'll get a ball up. Slight opportunity there for Melton to get the intercept. Couldn't complete the mark on this occasion was Luke Heaney. Sebas able to now just control things on the outer side. Back underway. Midair there was Dummet. Scoble couldn't gather. Walker. Throw it away to a teammate. Big tackle applied there by Latch. The umpire says, gone, holding the ball. Hot in the whistle on that occasion. Maybe a bit slight unlucky, Bloods fans, when they rewatch that vision throughout the week. I would have thought. Nevertheless, Latch will find Kirby. The big man runs and they'll take the mark. The foot candy the mark from the big man. Drills it inside 50, but to no one. Should be cut off. Kite in the hole takes the grab. Geordie Kite goes back to where the ball came from. Has an option that he likes in Cotter. He marks defensive side of centre wing. Now wave to go. Pulls the kick a little. In the end, it's going to be cut off, and was hoping for Hanley, but best of the boot was Lockyer. His first intercept of the day. Comes in board and finds Clark. His kick's good to Keel, and all the big guns combined. They have O'Keefe loose on centre wing of the broadcast side as the overlap. Had O'Shea hold it up for a bit. Riley O'Keefe will play on. Drills it inside 50. Stows the deepest flyer. Perhaps had the sit, didn't take the grab. Numbers favour Melton. Quick hand pass by Walker. Found its way to Sullivan. He goes back there and finds a teammate in Carter. Off there towards Russell. Dribbling kick towards the half-forward line. Hanley and Lockyer. Bit of holding going on. Should be a free kick the way of Hanley. Hanley with it. Attacking side of centre wing. Has an option at centre forward and Walker didn't spot him. Looks to go towards the pocket. Kicks pulled a little bit. Mid-roll in the hole was good. And a nice mark taken there by Sebas. We told to play on Will Clark. Can go to that man in Medwell. He marks. Looks towards the middle of the ground. Overcooked the kick for Latch. And in the end, he infringed front on. Mojito takes the advantage. Plays on in the centre of the ground. Has Kite on the lead. Hits him on the chest. Braden Kite with it. Too far at the score. We'll look further afield where he sees Carter presenting it into the pocket. That's where the kick goes. But well read off the boot from the coach and Keel. He dropped off his man. Got in front. Fisted out of play. We'll get a ball in. 35 from goal. Right end of the field if you're a fan of the reigning premiers, though. Melton, they trail by 8 points. Working their way back into the contest. O'Brien will do battle in the ruck against Hutt. We're back underway. Brian wins this one down, tries to follow up his own good work, gets the handball off to Kite, left foot snap towards the top of the goal square, handle from the side, couldn't quite bring it down, still a chance maybe for the Bloods, good smother there by Keel, Davis, the crafty Davis, left foot snap was touched. Would have been one of your goals of the day, but was touched by Sebastopol for a minor score. Lockyer will bring it in the field of play. 7 points now the margin. Called the play on. Now goes for his run. Towards the outside, the kick goes. It's a good one. Mark taken there by Banbury. Plays on, uses that stand rule to his advantage. Big fly over the top by Melton, allows Forbes to get the back, pulls the kick towards Paps, has a vacant 50 to aim at. Keeble's just come on the ground. Can the Borough spot him? They certainly can. And Keeble takes the mark. One of those luckers of fortune coming on the ground was James Keeble. Lost his man, of course. And in the end, had a vacant 50 to run into. And their spearhead gets to line up a goal for the first time this afternoon. And so Melton just mustered a bit of a challenge. Can the Borough settle things in here as we tick into time on in the second term? James Keeble, right behind the kick in the commentary position this afternoon here on true centre wing. Will line up on a 45-degree angle from about 45 metres. Starts his approach. Keeble needs to start this at the right-hand goalpost. Let the breeze do the rest. It's not about strike, and he does exactly that. Sebastopol, get that response they were looking for. End-to-end stuff, if you don't mind. 6-4, 40 leads, 4-3, 27. Goal there to James Keeble. Keeble joins the likes of Stowe, Ben Hutt, Toby Hutt, Hugo Paps and Jet Hill on the score sheet. Whilst Davis, Sullivan, Carter, and Adrian Mahida are the goal kickers for the Bloods. 13-point margin. Back underway here in the middle with Hutt and O'Brien. O'Brien gets up high, wins it down. Widgery coming through his weight around. Didn't go to the footy though. Watkins jumped on by Dan Widgery, and the umpire says wasn't in the back, was perfectly in the side, and we'll get a stoppage. So O'Brien and Hutt will go again. O'Brien again. Knocks it to space. Watkins heard the voice at the back. Ends in the hands of Walker. Looking for Russell. Just overcooked it. Rare mistake from the ever impressive Jack Walker. Opportunity for Sebas. Long kick from Banbury. Looking for Keeble. Couldn't take the mark. Fisted away nicely there by Phillips. And Hill ran out. Real estate as we'll get a ball in just inside 50. With that goal comes a bit of confidence for James. Barely touched it in the open term, even at all, but a goal and a few involvements here just has him getting back to what we saw in that grand final. As Watkins gets boot to ball. Classy. Used the body well against Carter and took a wonderful mark. 22-year-old, as I said, BFL listed at Werribee was the inclusion for Paps. Sorry, for Cassidy. He was looking for Paps, so couldn't take the mark. Hand pass from Sebastopol hit the umpire. In the end, it'll still work out to Banbury. Pulls the kick towards full forward. Keeble out position. Should be marked by Phillips. In the end, all works out. Melton, after maybe the assisted hand pass, ricocheted off the umpire. Phillips comes out towards the broadcast side. Clarkin in front. Was he held? Umpire says he was. And Jesse Clark, another big one-on-one win against Liam Carter. So Clark to send Sebastian attack again. He's looking for the fly. Keeble went early, but didn't get a hand on it. Melton with the numbers at the back. Mahito trying to clear. Sullivan gets it to it first. Wheels around to that trusty left side. High ball in the Davis direction. Doesn't have the size in the marking contest. Keel wins it down to a teammate. Coughs it up straight back to Davis. Up and under kick should be marked. And it is in the fence. Crone will come out towards the broadcast side. Has an option in Widgery. Bouncing ball. Stops and props. Pulls the kick in the teammate's direction there. Berzil, and he marks. Had to wait a long time. Knew the pressure was coming, but didn't back away from the challenge. Can they look for a forward on the lead? Keeble's the obvious one. It's a wobbly kick. Doesn't quite have the trajectory on it. Melton with the numbers. Ball hits a deck for Hill on a great smother by Kite. Sees it out of play. All of a sudden, the goal from end to end from Sebas has really re-sparked them as we approach half-time here at McPherson Park. O'Brien worked his way to the front. Medwell slid in, stolen by Suter. Left foot kick towards that one-on-one of Carter and Clark. Lockyer came in, gave it off to Clark. His kick was smothered by Carter. In the end, it's gone out of play in front of a Sebastopol coach's box, led by new coach Mick Colombo. Shows his footy skills there with a nice little ball back to the boundary umpire. Will get us back underway, 60 from goal. Kirby in the ruck. Ance O'Brien has the size advantage. Does he throw his weight around? Try to take one out of the air and drill it inside 50. In the end, favours O'Brien. Knocked it down. Ericsson coming through. Is that in the back from Widgery? Umpire says no. Says he just collapsed. We'll get another stoppage. 13 points in the margin here at McPherson Park. O'Brien got rid of Kirby, and the umpire says illegally. Free kick to the big man. And a big 9-9. Kirby pulls the kick. Saw the leader, Paps. Didn't quite get there. Might come straight back to him. In the end, Hutt came from the side. Hand pass off there, finds teammate and Latch on the non-preferred. Overcooked it for the loose target and Stowe. Fell in his lap. Right foot snap. Has gone into the pocket. Umpires will pay the mark. Hill, one hand. Wonderful. Showtime, Jed Hill. Right forward pocket will line up for goal. Just does the special, does Jed Hill, time and time again. Had a shot from this exact spot to the other end of the ground on the quarter time siren. This time's a bit closer, so he goes to the left foot and classically finished. Becomes the first mobile goal kicker of the afternoon. There's Jed. And a great mark. I'm sure we'll be seeing on replay throughout the week. Is capped off with his second goal of the day. 7-4-46 leads 4-3-27 here at McPherson Park. Back-to-back goals here from the Borough. After back-to-back goals from Melton in this term. Continue to regain ascendancy whenever they're challenged. Kirby, left foot kick towards centre half forward. Hill, couldn't quite gather. Ball in dispute. Sebastopol looking for another one. Back to Hill on that left side. Pulls it. Oops. That full stretch couldn't take the mark. Got up like a cat. Off the cable. Hand pass inside. Was looking for Paps. In the end, Melton going to win out with the numbers. What umpire coming in. Just going to pull it back. Free kick the way of the Bloods. No advantage played. Gives Sebastopol an opportunity to set up behind the footy. With the likes of O'Keefe and Lockyer. Now Clark in the mix. They look very dangerous in those one-on-one duels down the line. So Melton need to try to find a way to pick their way through. It's in the right man's hands in Suter. Plays on and looks to go towards the outside. High ball. Carter got separation this time. Went to go on the chest. Well read by Lockyer. He punched it out of play. Almost 27 minutes played in this second term. It's a 17-point margin. Kirby in the ruck now against McIntyre. Wins it down. Gets it back, does a big fella. Heard a voice, but it was Watkins who stole it. Then one probably Melton's best this afternoon. Drills it towards half forward. Davis at the back. Slight fumble from the veteran. Tried to shovel his way inside. Just to himself with the hand pass. Now to Walker. Pulls the kick for the man at half forward. Loosen Carter. He marks. Chipped it over the top. And Liam finds Ryan. Chopping the arms. Mark in the back. Take your pick. The leading goal kicker this year will line up for goal 30 metres out in the right forward pocket. Wasn't pretty. Davis had a case of the fumbles, but all the class got involved. Walker and the two Carter boys connecting. Ryan will line up for number 2. Been a fascinating battle between him and O'Keefe. We saw it in the grand final last year before O'Keefe went off injured at half time with a lower leg injury. Carter comes in. Across the face, a rare blemish from last year's Tony Lockett medalist. A minor score, 4-4-28 trails, 7 goals for 46. Cut along to half time as Lockyer wants to keep the attacking play going. Plays on, looks towards down the middle. Paps got to the front. In the end, could take the mark. Rouse plays through the midfield, kick towards half forward. Opportunity here for Liam Carter, off to a teammate there in Walker, towards the hot spot. Well, I thought a couple of Sebastopol players were going to spoil themselves, but Clark was able to outmuscle Tony Lockett in the air, if you don't mind. And he's just built himself into the game nicely, has Jesse Clark. You can see why, well, as high as the AFL scouts continue to look at him in the VFL system, Hutt couldn't take the mark. Coming through there was Berzeel, but as deliberate as you like, knocked it towards the boundary line. Umpire blindsided by a big pack of players, didn't see it. Toby might go away with one there. Taking side centre wing on the broadcast side, favours the Bloods. Need one for the confidence into half-time here. Need to get the likes of Walker, Watkins and O'Brien on the move here. McIntyre tries to knock it to advantage, but stolen by Kirby. So many times he's done that. Stowe just fisted it to give the ball in the deck forwards for Keeble. Suda on hands and knees, clever. Found Cotter. Now Heaney, Walker. Composure, nice kick, finds McIntyre. Back in the lineup this week, in the ruck. Looks inboard with the kick, and O'Brien showed his strength, took the mark. Comes across the ground. They've got the loose man in Ericsson. He loves the run and gun, runs his full measure, pulls the kick in the Hanley direction. Full extension, couldn't bring it down. And now Clark at the back has the boundary line as his friend. Tried the show, did he keep it in? Did well enough to disguise it, and we'll get a ball in deep inside forward 50. 30 minutes now played. 18 points the margin. We approach time, half-time here at McPherson Park. Back underway here. O'Brien got rid of Kirby. Right foot snap out of the ruck. It's going to fall in the pocket. And in the end, actually, the umpire says just gone over the line. So a let off for Sebastopol. If they don't have to defend a stoppage, they'll be able to come in defence through Clark. So Jesse Clark with it. He's our wave to play on, and we'll just load up a long one down the line, doing the defensive thing to close things out. Ball off hands, sooner at the back. Has a man in Cotter inside if he can get it. But in the end, well pressure there by Forbes to see him over the line. Has an important job today, Adam Forbes. Kicked 3 goals last week in the last round, in the victory over Bacchus Marsh, and doing a nice little job on the best on ground, the grand final. Suda kept him relatively quiet for his high standards this afternoon. O'Brien coming through with the hand pass down Cotter. Played on and drilled it inside 50 with a high ball. Hanley from the side. Carter weighted down this occasion. Stops, prop steadies. Great smother Lockyer. Goal-saving smother. And now he comes away with it with the hand pass. Takes one bounce and now a second bounce as Lockyer drills it towards half forward. Looking for Keeble. Pushed it beneath it. Umpire agrees with me. 55 from goal. The ball will come back to James Keeble. But take a bow. Your captain, Sebastopol, Tony Lockyer. The smother was superb. The 2 bounces found Keeble. Too far at the score. Pulls the kick towards the hot spot. Forbes would have to be the flyer this time. Over the top, almost with the grab. Damn it. Manufactured a hand pass. No, he didn't, said the umpire. He threw it away, but it won't matter here at McPherson Park. This time, Sebastopol are going to take an 18-point lead. Melton 4-4-28, trails 7-4-46 for the Bloods. Davis, Sullivan, Ryan Carter and Adrian Mahita, your goal kickers, whilst for Sebastopol, Jed Hill has 2 special goals this afternoon. The boys haven't won a piece. Keeble and Stowe are on your score sheet. We'll take a break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes or so time here from McPherson Park.
The McValue Bundle at Macca's. A choice of your favourite burgers, together with fries and drinks for just $26.95. Did we just find something the whole family can agree on?
At number 1, it's Redan Lions Grant Bell.
Around handball out of the bad snap. And that's a goal. So it's a great goal. Good snapping goal there.
At number 2, it's East Point's Brad Whitaker. Snaps a goal from 30, finishing off a lovely play from his teammates. At number 3, it's Darley's Brett Dooley. He outmuscles the backman and kicks an amazing goal.
They can check to Bewley in the back, couldn't take the mark, Stockers. Second effort was brilliant, and Bewley gets his first, and Tarley's second of the afternoon.
At number 4, it's Sunbury Lions' Jake Sutton. He showcases his work as a small forward. Let's watch this marvellous crumbing goal. At number 5, it's Aidan Riley from Melton South. We all love dribblers, and this is one that's up there with the best.
We'll meet, we will. I'll meet you there at the club at the top of the hill. At the club at the top of the hill.
Push buttons to park magically.
Welcome back to McPherson Park, round 3 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Half time here, 18 points the margin the way of the visitors Sebastopol at this stage, exacting maybe a little bit of revenge after losing, of course, in the 2022 grand final. Goals this afternoon, a couple to Jed Hill. Hutt boys got one apiece in Toby and Ben. Hugo Paps, Liam Stowe, and of course James Keeble on the score sheet. For the home side, Davis, Sullivan, Carter of the Rhyme variety, and Mojito. But they need to get more of that forward line. Carter with only the 2 looks. Liam Carter pretty much unsighted, to be fair. And Braden Kite yet hit the score sheet as well. So the Bloods struggling in the middle, struggling in the forward line. A completely different trail of the tape than we saw in season 2022. Aaron Timms, I'm sure, would add some hard words to his charges at halftime. Said, here's the new challenge. Can you back it up? As we'll get the second half underway here with Derby and McIntyre to once again continue their duel in the ruck in the middle of McPherson Park. McIntyre unopposed, feathered it down to Walker. Got it back to McIntyre. Ham pass off there to O'Brien to send the Bloods into attack. Looking for Hanley. Lockyer with the one hand, brought to ground and got boots of ball, but it's going to come straight back. Marking that one there is Rolls. Hand pass off there to Watkins. He drills it inside 50. Looking in front was Lockyer. Davis coming through. Dropped the footy. Umpire on the spot says play on. And in the end, I guess it was probably just spilled out in the tackle. Good officiating there. As will be 45 from goal for Melton. McIntyre with a fist into a dangerous area. Lockyer has to backtrack. Hanley on his hammer. Did well not to get into the back of Lockyer, and we've got a stoppage close to the goal for Melton. Watch for the likes of Height to get on the move here. Closely watched at the contest. We'll be back underway. Both ruckman jostle. Watkins steps around. Left foot snaps across the face of goal. Umpire will pay the mark. Off hands. Hanley went between his legs. Carter couldn't get away there from Clark. Getting down was a big fella, Kirby. And in the end, holds things up. Inside 50. Early stages of the third term here. Still the same halftime margin and halftime scores. O'Brien knocks it down, Flight on the move, couldn't quite get it, slipped over in the tackle, and in the end, it's been rushed through for a minor score. So Melton moved to 4-5-29, Sebastopol 7-4-46. Tony Lockyer, who worked his way into the contest in the second term, has it. And we'll bring it back in. Loves to go direct with the kickouts and continues that trend. Hart will fall on his lap. Ben Hart marks. Can they go coast to coast once again? High ball in the Keeble direction. Couldn't take the grab. Chopping the arms. There's the umpire. To the displeasure of some of the home fans here, but James Keeble will have it. 70 from goal and has a loose man inside 50, and he finds him. Mark taken there by Liam Latch. Short kick. Cuts on the move. Didn't have enough on it. Bounced in front of him. Forbes coming through. Gives it back to Latch to try and make amends. And the umpire says he got one high as well. Bending over to get it. Didn't duck. And tucked up in the right forward pocket, about 45 from goal. Will line up for first blood, pardon the pun, in this term. One of the areas identified in the off-season by Keel and Colombo was some outside classy ball use. Latch has filled that void early. His kick is on its way. It's going to go right to the top of the goal square. Off hands. Snap around the body from Toby Hutt. Was it touched? Celebration says not. And he has his second. Sebastopol to get the first in the third term. Very good at roving the packs for a big man is Toby Hart. Quick to get boot to ball, or ball to foot, if you will. And he's second of the afternoon. It's the game out to a game high, if you don't mind, 23-point margin. Twenty-three points margin here at McPherson Park. Borough getting first blood through Toby Hutt. He's second of the afternoon. Goal number 3 for the season. We're back underway. Neutrally down. Walker with the clearance. High up and under kick. Will the umpire pay the mark? He says he will. And in the end, it's a really strong one there taken by O'Shea. Adapt both sides, uses the right this time and finds Benhut. Looking for his brother. The hut connection and nice grab by Toby Hart. Full extension, plays on, inside 50, was looking for Paps, bounced in front of him. Cotter was on his hammer. Mojito goes inboard. Forbes got foot to it. Watkins in the hole. Will just try to clear defensive 50. Off the deck went Banbury. Umpire paid the mark and fortuitously lands in the lap there of James Keeble. And it just pays some time to get something on it. And good things will happen. Off the deck. Fortuitous, as I said. Keeble marks. He's on a 45-degree angle, about 35 metres out. If Keeble goals, he'll make it 4 in a row here for Sebastopol. He started the rot at the end of the second term, and he continued here in the early stages of the third. Starts his approach. Will shoot from about 35 metres, if you will. Kick is on its way, keeps it low, and in the end, it's across the face. Final score. 8 goals, 5. 53 leads 4-5-29. Cotter will bring it in for the 5th time this afternoon. Just goes short this time, finds Adrian Blanito. He plays on. Off the inset, the kick's a wobbly one. McIntyre just knocked it on to Davis. Been good. Coughed it up on this occasion as I wrapped him up. O'Shea, sweeping ball, sets a task for Lockyer. Bounced off Hanley and spun out of the tackle from Kite. The captain sends it towards centre half forward. One hand by Hutt could complete the mark. Forbes coming through. Couldn't quite gather on the bouncing ball. Has some supporting Clark. Got rid of Cotter. Threw it to Clark and the umpire spotted it. It was as obvious if you like, Adam. As Cotter will come out towards the broadcast side. Oh, O'Shea almost with the one-hander. Couldn't quite bring it down. Sullivan, wheels and deals. Wants Watkins to run past. Put him under the pump. Left foot kick to the centre half forward. Lockyer couldn't intercept. Goes the second time with Hanley on his hammer. And in the end, you probably take that if your Melton was a poor entry. Hanley's just done enough to create some foreseeable pressure and lock it at its true centre half forward position. Melton need to make it their run happen soon. Sebastopol well in control here at McPherson Park. Off the deck went Banbury into the middle of the ground. Hutt in a foot race with Heaney. Picking this one up there is Rolls. Goes for a run and takes one bounce. Might think about a second. In the end, he missed his boot laces, if you don't mind. Might still work out though. Watkins gets it the back there to Heaney. He drills it inside 50. Back and back's Hanley almost remarkably marked it. Bounced off his chest. Lockyer slaps it out of the fence. O'Keefe wrapped up by Rolls. And a stoppage after a funny passage of play. 24 points to the margin. Early stages, as I said, of the third term. One down by the Borough. Medwell missed this one. Height wrapped up by that man. And in the end, you're not going to get out of the tackle there as we'll throw it in the air in between half forward, centre wing on the outer side from our broadcast position here on true centre wing. Rolls. Got away. Hand pass. Not really to the advantage of his teammate, O'Shea. Flipped it over his shoulder. Height of the Jordan variety. Couldn't quite gather under the hot pressure. Was Blood's best last week. Started brightly here, but faded out that second term. Not alone in the back end of that quarter. Back underway here. McIntyre wins it down. Hutt boots the ball towards centre wing. Suda couldn't complete the mark. Fisted forward there by Hill. Foot race on. In the end, ends up in Hill's lap again. Grills a bit wobbly one inside forward 50. Mojito trying to get away from Paps. Did well under pressure. Head towards the boundary line, but in the end, too far and out in the full. Hill will drill it in again. Stone a 1-on-1. Walker got rid of him legally. Heaney stepped through a few whoopie tackles. Did well. Nice kick coming out the fence. Although Lockyer read it best and reacted. Coughed it up. Hanley tried to stroke the tackle. Got a hand to it. Sullivan, did he keep it in? Umpire says no, and we'll get a ball in. Half forward line for Sebastopol. Great contest here all afternoon in beautiful football conditions. Not too windy. Nice and sunny. Neither ruckman touch it. Ball spills at the back. Numbers with the Bloods. Watkins with a kick into the middle of the ground. Getting back there was Lawler for Sebas, but rid of him was Walker. Took him on maybe in the tackle. No, the umpire said he had no prior opportunity. And in the end, a stoppage is what the result is. Wait for the ruckman in Kirby and McIntyre to make their way towards this contest. Right in front of us, pretty much true centre wing, Medwell. Took on the tackle and Walker. And didn't get boots the ball. Great tackle by Jack Walker. Holding the ball. The co-captain plays on immediately. Goes inside 50 with a kick to Carter. Knocked away nicely by the Borough in defence in Clark. Went back to Clark, given a lot of time to get rid of it. Did so. And throwing that one away was Kirby. So pressure by Melton starting to lift. Davis drills it towards full forward. Looking for Carter. O'Keefe with the company. Gill gave support. Widgery clears. Going to come straight back though. McIntyre should mark. 60 from goal. Looks to centre up forward and measures a nice pass. What a marks right on the paint. And we know he's a thumping kick, ladies and gentlemen. Does he use that stand rule to his advantage? Gain a few extra metres from the mark and take this one home. Looks to do that. And yeah, he just pulled it towards Carter in the pocket. Clark backing back, didn't mark. Wrestle the outside of the boot. Sebastopol players called for touch. And the umpire says it's all clear, it's a goal. Goal there to Zach Russell. More importantly, a goal against the tide for the Bloods. They moved to 5-5-35. Trailing Sebastopol 8-5-53 here at McPherson Park. Badly needed goal there by the Bloods to reduce the margin back to 18 points. So only been able to manage back-to-back goals once so far today. Can they do it and get the ball out of the centre, which has been a struggle? Medwell trying to get the clearance, left it behind. Kirby went between his legs. And in the end, the Borough should have had a pretty clean centre exit, made it too hard, and a stoppage. The result for the Bloods. They try to claw their way back into this contest. Kirby and McIntyre to re-jostle. Both ruckman holdings, the umpire waves play on. McIntyre down to Kirby, who sends it inside 50. Almost a mark there to Hutt. We treated the big tackle, but got him high. Free kick will go the way of the Bloods. Inside defensive 50. Lake Suter, no surprise on the bottom of the pack. Off to Mojito. His run from halfback in this term has been impressive. Looking towards Carter. Clark with the one hand. Almost took the mark. Got it somehow to a teammate. Was under all sorts of pressure. Really lifted here from Melton. Really a tackling hard and fierce. And Watkins on display doing that there to lock things up in between half forward and centre wing on the outer side. Can they turn this ferocious tackling pressure into some scoreboard pressure? Dummett coming through is wrapped up by Walker. And again, another stoppage is the only result the umpire can foresee from that contest. Back underway here. McIntyre wins it down. Kite boots the ball. Will dribble towards half forward. Crone first to react. Got it off to Clark. So a bit of foot candy, and the hand pass was superb to Medwell. He dumps a long one down the line. Hutt's caught behind on this occasion. And a nice mark's taken there by Melton and by Heaney. Has men breaking for him across half back. Might be forced, though, just to dump this one down the line again. Plays on, uses his full measure, and does that. McIntyre with a clever knock on. Foot race on in earnest. Banbury gets there first. Left foot kicks a dangerous one out here towards the broadcast side. O'Keefe's the left foot of it sits up for him. On his natural side. Pulls the kick in the Paps direction. In the end, overcooked it. Mark taken there by Mojito, who's been super in this term, it must be said. Nice pass finds Walker. Averaging 36 touches a game, if you don't mind, so far in season 2023. Inboard hand pass finds Mojito again. And across he goes with the kick. Mark taken there by Cotter. Cotter virtually opposite from our broadcast position. Short pass finds Kite. Inboard back to Mojito. Continues to run. Kick towards half forward. Carter's got out the back. Looks inboard. Has Sullivan. Wobbly kick was a bit too tall for him. Still maybe a chance. Left it behind. Coming through was O'Keefe. Not out of it yet, Sebastopol, but a let off from the execution from the Carter kick has resulted in a stoppage 35 metres out directly in front. midway through the third quarter. 18 points the margin. Huge let off for the Borough. Melton still can capitalise from here. If McIntyre can get out of the ruck, Kirby wins this one. Witchery left it behind. Watkins stepped through some traffic. Got boots a ball across the face of goal. It's still in remarkably. Hanley to Carter. Back to Liam to Ryan. Right foot kick towards the top of the goal square. Umpire will pay the mark. Off hands Kirby. Too tall for Lawler. In the end, it goes to Lockyer, who does the sensible thing and sees it through for a minor score. Within the 5 metres. Had every right to do so. So a minor score, rush behind, experience shown by the captain Tony Lockyer. Goes short. Oh, and he's kicked to Clark's a poor one. He gets unable to complete the mark, sliding down. And here's the chance for Sullivan. Stepped around Lockyer. Left foot starts beauty. A rare mistake from Tony Lockyer at the full-back position has resulted in a goal. And Melton, Sullivan gets his second and breathes life back into this contest with back-to-back goals for the Bloods. Six 42 trails 8-5 53. Sullivan becomes the first mobile goal kick of the afternoon, as I said, for Melton. Joins the likes of Toby Hutt and Jet Hill for Sebastopol, who have a couple this afternoon. Back on the way, neutrally one down. Slap back there was clever by Dummett, found Kirby. Right foot kick for the big man was perfect. Forbes takes the mark. Presents well for a little fella and has a good set of hands. Kick, sits on the head of Hutt. Couldn't complete the mark. Hand pass to Walker. At the back, Mahito. Oh, the foot candy. See you later. Dumps it down the line. Looking for the big man in McIntyre. Couldn't complete the mark. Now Carter looks there for Ericsson. Bouncing ball. Goes back to Carter, but had the safety as the boundary line just to see it out of play. Defensive side of centre wing for the Bloods. 6-6, 42 trails, 5-53. McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League matched the round here at McPherson Park. McIntyre couldn't win it down on this occasion. Goes for a second effort, does the big man. Watkins spun 360 and harshly done by. Didn't have a lot of prior opportunity. Just in the end, I think the umpires just rewarded the big man with a big tackle. And Kirby plays on, pulls the kick. It's a poor one, should be cut off. Mark taken there by the Bloods. They come out towards the broadcast side, but they've just kicked it back to Kirby. Should have taken a mark uncontested. Opens the door for Hanley. Out the back he goes towards Ericsson. He gives off there to Carter. Well, he tried to step around the tackle. Did he drop it? Umpire said he must have got a fist to it and we'll ball it in. So mistakes are both from both sides there as the intensity in the contest picks up. The liveliness around the ground picks up. And we'll pick things back up on centre wing on the broadcast side. Kirby and McIntyre. Kirby wins it down. Hutt slipped over at the crucial moment. Might open the door for Watkins. His hand passes towards his captain in Kite. Gave it off to a teammate there in Walker. Hanley in front. Fisted away there by Lockyer. Good tackle by Lockyer to spill it out in the tackle. Unlucky to not be rewarded if you don't mind, but umpire will say I'll throw it in the air. A little bit ginger. Lockyer. It's Tony. Umpires. Not sure if it's a cramp or definitely going towards that calf, and it's always a interesting sign. But of course, missed a chunk of last year. The injury was Hutt doing the ruck work here of the Ben variety. McIntyre wins it down. We'll watch the action here and keep a close eye on Lockyer on the boundary line. Walker went without it. Thrown away by Lawler. Prone at the back. Finds Clark. Put the arm out. Umpire probably says that's Pryor. Still got hands to it. Ball in dispute. Opportunity here for Suter. Right foot kick towards half forward. Walker and Crone. Walker gets rid of Crone. Steadies from 40. Jack Walker kicks it one. Right to the Bloods. 7-6 48 now trails 8-5 53. A 5-point margin at McPherson Park. Challenge was thrown to Aaron Timms' men. They have responded with 3 in a row here. Tononi now trail Sebastopol by 5 points. Back underway. Hutt got a hand on it. Walker coming through. Confronted immediately by Berzeel. End up in his hands somehow. Boot the ball will go towards half forward. Bounces on its point. Hill trying to get rid of Mojito. He steps away 1 tackle. Coughs it up in the hand pass to Hill. Off the instep, drills it inside 50. Bounce just in front of Paps. Heaney getting back. Dumps it out of the fence. Probably had more time. Dummett couldn't mark. Off the deck went Hill. Keeble. Bazile. Right foot kick. Has a loose man in Ben Hart. At half forward, he marks. Draws the man over top to Forbes. Outside the boot kick. Right to the goal square. It goes. Stowe can complete the mark. Numbers with Sebas. Just need to get boot to ball. Stowe can't do. It's off the deck. And the umpire's going to pay a free kick. Cotter's got a fullback. Goes short. Finds Watkins. Inside defensive 50. Go back to Geordie Cotter. Plays on. With by hand. Mojito dumps it out of the fence. Carter's at the best spot and in between a pack of 3 players takes a wonderful mark. Ryan Carter. Goes long down the line. Hanley almost took the grab. Has probably a bigger license to run and jump the footy with Lockie up the field at the minute. Done a great job in nullifying his influence all afternoon. Now a direct matchup on Crone inside a centre wing. And we're back underway. McIntyre off to Watkins. Big tackle by Keel. Umpire's got a handball there. Walker. Quick kick. It's going to come the way of Keel. The quarterback, if you will, for Sebastopol has it. Now wave to go. Drills along one centre wing. Stowe couldn't take the mark. McIntyre finds Cotter. Short ball's a good one. Mark's taken there by Watkins. He plays on. Towards the half forward. Good kick. Walker off to Sullivan. Transition's perfect. And Carter finished the deal. Was just too tall for him. Foot race on in earnest. Boundary line's the friend of O'Keefe. Disguised it well and got it out of bounds. Where the ball wants to be for Melton, though. They trail by 5 points. It's deep inside forward 50. 3 goals in a row from them. A 4th would see them take the lead here as we approach 3/4 time. Back underway. And Carter. They got rid of Hart. Now the right foot snap. Ryan Carter, 2nd of the day. Melton's 8th. They lead by points. Number 11 for the season for last year's Tony Lockett medalist. Ryan Carter did the business. Deep inside forward 50, showing another craft to his game with a ruck work and a goal. 1 point the margin. 4 in a row for the Bloods. This game has lived up to the billing. McIntyre down to Watkins. Run as far as Kirby. He dumps it inside 50. Over the head of Hutt. Heaney did well. Suter back to Heaney. And he goes for a run. Drilling ball towards centre wing. Looking for Walker. Jack Walker has it. Plays on immediately. Vacant 50 to aim at. In the end, he's turned it over. On this occasion, found Keel. So Sebastopol's coach has it. Defensive side of centre wing. On the outer side of the ground. Off 1 step. Looks for Hart. Too tall for him. Ericsson waits down. Shakes and bakes his way through. Or does he? And in the end, the umpire see just go over the line before the tackle was completed. And no free kick is awarded. Bert Shops from our broadcast position on the outer side. Centre wing. McIntyre and Kirby. We're back underway. McIntyre wins it down. Straight to Walker. Got boots the ball. Clark worked his way to the front. Off the deck went Crone. Straight towards the boundary line. Had the safety of the boundary line. And in the end, we'll get a stoppage. Lockyer looks like he's going to make his way back on the ground, still rubbing that calf. Desperately need to get him back for the organisation of Sebastopol Ascents, who's under the pump after 4 Melton goals. Whistle off the field. The non-officiating umpire must have picked out a blood rule, looks like. Walker, who was collected late from his last kick. So we'll have a bit of a wait and stoppage here as the play makes way up the ground. Ball will be resituated on true centre wing on the outer side. 1 point margin here at McPherson Park. Now the way of the home side. Declare it from the nose of co-captain Jack Walker. He's lifted in this term. I mean, hasn't put a foot wrong so far in season 2023. It has to be said. Kirby wins it down, taken away by Melton. They'll dump it towards centre half forward. Keel backing back. Fight flew early and got some hands on it. Bounced up like a cat. Did kite, but ran into some tackle and pressure. And the end, a stoppage is the only result. Back on the way here. Just outside 50 for the Bloods. Kirby gets his hands to it. Kite comes away with it. Left foot kick dribbles inside 50. O'Keefe knocked to his own advantage, not once but twice. Spinning out that one was Clark. And in the end, got it to a teammate over the line. Stop-start affairs since Melton took the lead for Ryan Carter as we approach time on in the third term. Back on the way with Kirby, neutrally 1 down. Overrunning that one was Latch. Another stoppage is the only result. But stalemate continues on the outer side of the ground from us. 1 point, the margin here in round 3 action in McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Match day here between Melton and Sebastopol. And we're back underway. 1 down by Kirby. Picked up there by Suter. He goes inside 50 with the kick. Almost to the second bite of the cherry, not paid the mark. Still in dispute. Crone, his direct opponent, shoved at the hand pass in the Keeble direction. Scoble coming through is like duff. Another stoppage. Ara just trying to hold on in here towards 3/4 time. We'll be kicking with the aid of a slight breeze in the final term. If they can limit the damage from here. Easier said than done with this Melton press. The reigning premiers owning the premiership quarter. As we're inside 50 with another stoppage. At 48 metres out from goal. 8-6-54 leads 8-5-53. And we're back underway. Mutually down. Hand pass. Partially smothered on hands and knees there. Looks like it was Berzeel. And the umpire said was circling. Just for a moment, the whistle went to mouth and thought maybe he might have found out a free kick the way of Melton, but ball came out just at the last moment. Davis circling. Trying to get that one. Kirby in the ruck with McIntyre. Once again, the big man from Sebastopol wins it down. Big tackled and follow-up there was good by Brett McIntyre, who's been a welcome inclusion in the ruck this week. Showing all his experience. And he wins this one down. Keeble coming through, just knocks it towards the boundary line. Walker gets across though. Fisted forward there by O'Keefe. Ball on in onus. Not come away with it. And dump it inside 50. Carter couldn't take the mark. O'Shea with the hand pass. Found Dummett. Opportunity here for Melton with Ericsson. Right foot snaps right to the goal square. Carter got rid of O'Keefe legally and took the mark. Good body use in the goal square from Liam Carter. He can join his brother Ryan on the score sheet here if he can go from top of the goal square and make it a 7-point margin and 5 in a row to the Bloods. He does so. 9 goals, 660 leads, 8 goals, 553. Liam Carter with his first goal of the afternoon, joining the likes of Mahito, Russell, Jack Walker, Ryan Davis, with Sullivan and Carter 2 apiece as well for the Bloods. Five in a row to Melton. Lockie has made his way finally back onto the ground. Keeble's been ejected into the midfield. To more importantly, try to get the hands on the footy of the mid Sebas. Melton have lifted in this term. It has to be said. McIntyre did well just to hold up Hart, and in the end, the Bloods come away with Walker inside 50. Manly couldn't complete the mark again. Lockyer, did he drag it in? Umpire's got a decision to make. In the end, says, I'll throw it in the air. All Melton in this term, 7 points the margin. And we're back underway. Kirby decisively down. Lawler threw it away to Banbury. Handball inside was good to the running man in Hart. Can he hit a target going forward? Kick just in front of Paps again. Did well, did Hugo on the follow-up. Over the hill, steps inside, lowers the eyes. The Seds pumps it to the goal square. The holding going on. And it's going to go the way of Melton. Stowe in a wrestle. And a free kick goes the way of Phillips. Goes short, finds Cotter. Comes across defensive 50 and finds his target. Melton happy just to go into possession here as we approach three-quarter time, maybe. Geordie Cotter. Little hand signals suggest that. Averaging 29 disposals a game this year is Cotter. As that ball goes just the required 15 to Walker. And he can go back to where it came from in Cotter if he likes, and that's what he does. As siren does sound here at McPherson Park, the signal three-quarter time, 9 goals, 660. Melton leads Sebastopol 8-5-53. We'll take a final break. Back for the final term here live from McPherson.
Push buttons to park magically.
The McValue Bundle at Macca's. A choice of your favourite burgers, together with fries and drinks for just $26.95. Did we just find something the whole family can agree on?
Welcome back to McPherson Park. 3/4 time, Melton by 7 points. A couple to Sullivan, a couple to Ryan Carter, singles to Liam Carter, Mojito, Russell, Jack Walker, and Davis for the Borough. A couple to Toby Hutt, a couple to Jed Hill, singles to Pest, Keeble, Ben Hutt, and Liam Stowe. Borough might have a slight breeze, but it's not going to do it for them. Can they enact some revenge from the 2022 grand final, or will history repeat itself? Let's find out here live at McPherson Park. Mutually one down, coming through there. Off the deck was Kirby. Umpire will pay the mark, of course. It's inside 50. Strong hands on this occasion, and maybe for the perfect start for Sebastopol in their quest. Looking to palm it off quickly was Toby Hutt. He does have the wheels, one would think, from right on 50. So Toby Hutt does palm it off, and in the end's picked off Jack Walker, and a disappointing outcome for Sebas, as Walker of the Jack variety finds Rayleigh Walker inside defensive 50. Has Kite loose and half back, and that's where he goes to. The captain with it can go back to Walker if he likes inside the paint. That's what he does. Plays on at fullback. Looks for Heaney. It's a beauty. Should mark and does. Off to Mojito. They continue to switch towards the outer side. Nice ball by Melton. They continue to run and gun. Rouse with a long one. Loose man half forward. Slipping out the back there. Mark is taken there for Melton. Inside goes Suda. Off to Mojito. From 48. Kick was smothered. Lockyer fell over. Got a hand to it. Did he deliberately knock it to the line? Umpire says no, despite the appeals from the Melton forwards. They'll have an opportunity to lock it inside forward 50, but had a case, I would have thought, for insufficient attempt. 30 out from goal, will get back underway. Kirby wins it down. Watkins wrapped up immediately by, so it was Croned in the tackling on this occasion. In the early stages of the final quarter. Kirby again, slapped forward by Banbury. Boot to ball came from Sebastopol, only as far as Mojito. He pulls the kick to the top of the goal square. Carter, Liam Carter, right foot snaps across the face, minus score. 8 points the margin now. Banbury will kick in for Sebas. 9-7, 61 leads, 8-5, 53. Plays on as Banbury goes right down the middle. Medwell's his target, and the second by the cherry takes a wonderful mark. Was hot early, was Bailey Medwell. And comes out to his great mate, Jed Hill. Dropped the mark. Tries to sell the foot candy. Kicks a poor one. Heaney coming through. Left it behind. Boys circle. Toby gets down, didn't gather, and Watkins has support across halfback. Rolls is that man. He looks across the ground. He has McIntyre loose in the middle of McPherson Park. Plays on, there's the big fella. Drills it inside 50. Hanley's got it at the back. And finally, clunks one inside the paint. Would cap off a day that's been very good in keeping one Tony Lockyer very quiet. If he can start off the final term with a major. Directly in front, 35 from goal. Harrison, Hanley to line up. I will let the crowd do the work for me. Comes in and hits the woodwork. Anticlimactic. 9-8, 62 leads 8-5, 53. Banbury again to bring it in. We'll go short this time to Clark. Takes the mark. Looks more central to Medwell. Wants to go back to Banbury as Sebas elect to use the outer side to try and attack. Thrown with it inside defence 50. 4 disposals inside the paint here, but really going nowhere. That kick doesn't hit its target. Might make a problem. Medwell, a good run, got the overlap. Boots the ball. Was caressed onto the chest of Pabst. He plays on, kicks a wobbly one, but sliding in the marks taken there by Berzeel. Can the Borough get out the back and go coast to coast? He's held up in the middle of McPherson Park. Decides to go wide with the kick, back to where it really came from. Short over top there from Banbury's good. And working up hard there, the mark is taken there by, looks like to be Hill on the outer side. Wasn't perfect. Was a bit scrappy, but the Borough did go end to end. And from 50, can Hill kick his third? High ball. We'll go right to the top of the goal square. But not paid the mark. Melton able to keep it alive. Walker comes out of the fence, finds the target. Mark is taken there by the Bloods, and they look to slow things down, take a bit of air out of the contest. Goes back to Cotter at fullback. Has Phillips on the broadcast side by himself. That's where he heads. Good kick finds him. Get on with it. Can go to McIntyre if he wishes, and that's what Phillips does. He marks and has Walker in the pocket if he wants to choose. Or Heaney further afield. Melton with the overlap in Walker. Coughed it up, perhaps like a thief in the night, stole it. Into the top of the goal square. Key was in between two of them. Put the leg out trying to get McIntyre out of the way. In the end, numbers prevail. Melton rushed it through for a minor score. 8 goals, 654. Trails 9-8-62. Geordie Cotter will bring it in as always. Plenty of the footy again this afternoon. Plays on, looks towards the outer side. There's Cotter. Chip kicks a good one, finds his target. Walker with it. Now called the play on. Good kick by Melton. Finds height. Blood's going into this slow play. Down the line it goes. Lockyer at the back. Picks it up for Sebastopol. In the end, it's rushed over the line by Hanley. And we'll get a ball in. Ball in neutral territory on centre wing on the outer side. Who's going to blink first in this contest? It's only a slender 8-point margin. And we're back underway. One down there by Kirby. Quick kick by the Blood. Should be cut off by O'Shea and is. Plays on immediately. Looks towards the centre of McPherson Park. Hill. Good hands. Takes the mark. Has men either side of him. Uses one in Medwell. Short kicks in the Forbes direction. The little man couldn't hold on. Mojito with it. Picks it up towards Cotter. And he clears defensive 50 towards the outer side. Foot race on. Bounces on its point. Banbury first there for Sebas. Gets it off to a teammate there in Kirby. Comes inboard to Medwell. He marks. At the fourth or fifth time I've called his name this final term. As he goes with a short ball to Dummett. Too far to score from 75. Handball off, was looking for Clark. Runs to 50. Doesn't get a great penetration on the kick in the end. Just picked out McIntyre floating back at the top of the goal square. He'll go short. Find his target, Mojito, who was a real spark in defensive 50 in that last term. Kicks like that's a good one. Finds Suter. And he'll go to Cotter. Melton continue possess. Have men laterally. That's where he goes. Carter, of the lean variety, just goes back to Geordie Cotter. Now inside his own defensive 50. 7 minutes played in the final term. Finds Walker hitting up inside the fence. Looks to go across the ground with the kick. They have the overlap if they can get it out to Walker with Phillips, and they do so. Riley Walker with it. Getting at the back with Suter. Kicks a good one. Couldn't complete the mark. O'Shea gets this there for support. Comes across defensive 50 and finds Keel. The Borough want to get broadcast side where they have men. Can they manufacture away as he goes into defence to Banbury? Goes to centre half back and should find Medwell. And God, run from behind. Kite got him. Holding the ball. Big turnover. The captain plays on, takes a bounce, runs to 48 and misses. Still searching for his first goal this season, Braden Cotton, game 3. And a let off for the Borough as they were just coasting out of the fence and nearly got hurt the other way. Banbury comes pretty much down the middle. Carter's in best position unopposed, and he should mark and does. Too far at the score is Liam Carter. He plays on, sets it up to the hot spot Off hands. Height weights down. Big spinning tackle locks things up the top of the goal square. 8.5 minutes gone. 9-9-63 leads 8-6-54. 9-point margin here in round 3 action. The McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Kirby was looking there for Clark. And the umpire says the ball's going nowhere. Real stalemate to finish things off here in the final term. Favouring the Bloods. Kirby just took her out of the ruck. Gained some vital territory. Potter had support in Walker. Lowered the eyes superbly. Had a loose man inside 50 everywhere. Found Geordie Kite. Still searching for the opening goal of this final term. We've had 3 behinds to Melton and just the 1 solitary to Sebastopol. The Kite from 50 starts his approach. On its way. Near side always off the boot. No, it's come back. My apologies as it's gone through for a goal. And Melton did a merry dance to the man on the line to confuse us all here in the box, but all that matters is a goal for Melton. 10-9-69 leads 8-6-54. Reigning premiers have booted 6 in a row, if you don't mind, here at McPherson Park. To now skip away from the Borough. Back underway. Neither ruckman really touch it. Widgery knocked it down to Medwell. Hand pass was good over the top to O'Keefe. Inside 50, the kick's looking for Keeble. Strong hands. Plays on. Thumps it to the top of the goal square. Hill waits down this time. And numbers favour Melton. Heaney at the fence. Great kick will find Kite. He's happy to slow things down as the captain. Has got Carter working high up the ground. Never questioned the work rate of the Carter boys. High up the wings. And just as hard back down the ground. Kick's not perfect off the instep. Kite flew. Couldn't take the mark, and in the end, off hands of Stowe, we'll get a ball in. 15 points your margin here. The way of the Bloods. Sebas at 1 point led by 24 points midway through the 3rd term. But 6 in a row to Melton, if you don't mind, has been your story here. Davis, did he get one high? Umpire says no. And we'll get another stoppage. Not a hard task to get Ryan Davis over the shoulder. Holding off the footy. Free kick's going the other way of Walker. No advantage play. So Lockie Walker with it. Has Cotter. That's what he's going to use with the drawing hand pass. Cotter to set it up with a wobbly one inside 50. Bit of a chaos ball to deal with. Lockyer did well. Got a Berzeel, had nowhere to go. And a stoppage inside forward 50 for Melton. Since half time, has to be said, their forward pressure and tackling from the Bloods has been super. Stowe, hand pass, finds Hutt to Widgery. Off the outside of the boot, was looking for Hill. Went through him. Clean bowled him, if you will. Mahito gets a 1-2. Looks inboard. Good kick, finds Walker. Looks to go across the ground where he has Riley Walker. The kick's perfect for him. Marks on his chest. Waits for men to come at him. One of them was Davis. Nice grab. 60 from goal. Down the heart of McPherson Park. Now call the play on. Pulls the kick towards the top of the goal square. Carter boys both fly. Neither could mark. Keel weighted down. Hand pass was disguised to get through for a minor score. 10-10-70. Leads 8-6-54 now. 13 minutes gone in the final term. Short kick to Clark from the Borough. Looking for the big man Kirby. He marks on his chest. Plays on. Good kick. Should find its target in O'Keefe. Sebastopol able to go coast to coast a couple of times today. Here's another opportunity through the middle. Hut off the Medwell. Long kick will go inside 50. Forbes will be the target. Just couldn't hold on the last second. Suter had enough perceived pressure to get it down to ground. Melton trying to get some ovary across. Suter again with Forbes. Stoppage will suit. Umpires picked out holding the ball. Must have jumped on it. Only reason I can think of why it was a free kick the way Sebastopol inside 450. Forbes with it. Right on his distance limit from 50. Understatement of the century. They need a goal and they need it badly. Their leading goal kicker going into this game was Forbes with 3 last week, and he has it now. Lex to just sit it up in the top of the goal square with a high ball. Big fly back from Hart. Couldn't bring it down. Trotter comes away with it. Left foot kick should see the ball coming back as Dummett's there first. He marks 60 from goal. Early lead by Hutt is ignored. Plays on. Runs to 55. Overcooks the kick in the Keeble direction. McIntyre and Hutt collide. Both men come off worse for wear. Clearing kick from Walker's carved by O'Keefe. He plays on. Thumping kick. Looking for Keeble. In front, couldn't bring it down. Waiting down was Cotter. Comes to Walker. And once again, Melton, very professionally, come out of the fence. Riley Walker with a long one towards centre wing. There was a hands in the back from Clark. Umpire says no. Mark is paid. Was able to play on. Use that stand rule to effect. Looks for Hutt at centre forward. In the end, falls in the lap of Kirby. Arnold Kirby. Flown in from Northern Territory to fill the void in the ruck for season 2023 for Sebastopol. Will line up from just outside the paint. Starts his approach from 50. Not going to have the distance. Keeble flies early. Hutt over the top. Umpire says it's all good. And Toby Hutt will line up for number 3 directly in front from 15 metres out pretty much. Big fly from Keeble. Looks worse for wear on the ground. He's still on his haunches. Hutt just needs to do the business. I pop this one over the goal umpire's hat. Comes in, does that. Step 1 for the Borough as they break a run of 6 goals here at McPherson Park and move to 9 goals, 660, trailing 10-10-70 with Toby Hutt's 3rd goal of the afternoon. Leading goal kicker on the ground this afternoon, Toby Hutt with 3 majors. Needs to probably be the man, it has to be said, with the Keeble's lack or inability to clunk them today inside 450 to see the Borough home. McIntyre out of the middle for Melton. Threw it away to the umpire. Kirby takes the advantage. Off to Dummett. Thumps it inside 50. Maybe Keeble can make it. Imagine a big fly, but a big spoil at the back there from Phillips. Walker, maybe held without it. Cotter picks it up. Thumps it out of the fence towards the other side. Davis, favoured by the bounce. Hand pass back towards Cotter. Was it collected as he kicked? Hits his target regardless. Mark is taken for Melton on the outer side. Play on. High ball towards half forward and Carter. Crone did well not to infringe. Clark picks this one up. Went back to Crone. Over the shoulder he went. Watkins, those bright orange boots, coughed it up on this occasion to Hutt. He comes off half back. It just bounces in front of Pabs. About 4 or 5 times we've called that today. As Sebas still rushed it forward with a quick kick. Not paid the mark. Heaney shovels out the back. Walker took the tackle on, got away superbly, and that's just class, ladies and gentlemen, finds his target. One of the very best in the competition, Jack Walker. Leading possession getter in the competition. High ball towards half forward from Melton. Umpires paid a push. They're free kicked away of Sebastopol at half back. Almost played 18 minutes now in his final term. Short kick's a good one by Berzeel. Finds its target. Hutt measures, finds his coaching keel, defensive side of centre wing, and he goes with a 15-metre pass for Toby Hutt. Went for Stowe, overcooked the kick, ball's at the back. Riley Walker needs to be clean. In the end, slapped it to a teammate and did enough. Lockie Walker with it, dumps it out of the fence. Doesn't ball in dispute, comes out towards Heaney, towards Kai at the back. The captain, having taken the time on, does kick his first goal of season 2023. And as we approach time on, back to that 16-point margin, it has to be said that maybe it's going to be Melton's day again against Sebastopol. And that 1,300-day wait for a win here at McPherson Park continues for the Borough. They've got a runner, they can run out 16 points, Brayden Kite with the last goal in the game here. Approaching time on. And need something special. Do Sebastopol. There want to be any chance. Kirby trying to get it going with the clearance. O'Keefe collected as he went through. Hill out of midair. Forbes to Latch to Widgery for the instant response. Couldn't settle, and in the end, rushed it on the boot and missed to the near side. 9-7-61 trails, 11-10-76. Blood showing they are still the team to beat in season 2023. Mahito, one of the big reasons why his development over the last season and a half is quite remarkable. Averaging 22 possessions a game this year so far, and he's been the player of the second half so far for Melton. O'Keefe for the big fly, couldn't take the mark. O'Keefe of the Lockie variety gave the Crone, who was hot immediately and tackled. Quick kick from there from Russell. Bouncing ball, bounced off Banbury's chest, opens the door for Kite, knocks it to the advantage of Carter, slightly overran, and Keel just knocked it straight to the boundary line. We'll get a ball in. 15 points your margin here at McPherson Park. Approaching the final siren. Once again, the Borough coughed up a lead against Melton. It's been the story of this rivalry that's brewed over the last few seasons in the Ballarat Football Netball League. Clark stood up in the tackle. Did he take him on? Doesn't matter. Davis gets it to Walker. Back to Kite. Tucked up against the boundary line towards the top of the goal square. Coming through there was O'Keefe with the fist to see it through for a minor score. So played on there from fullback was Lockyer. Trying to find Keel. He marks. Did he go? Umpire said he did. Now he has to get rid of it. Sullivan with it now in the turnover to Walker. Inside 50 off hands, trying to take mark was Hanley. Back to Watkins. Left foot kick towards the top of the square. Marked by Banbury. So Sebas, hang on. Final blow not landed as he comes out towards the broadcast side. Mahito. Didn't think he was paid the mark, so go after Carter. It will work out as he lines up the goals as Ryan Carter. And it's over the line. Not paid the mark will be his brother Liam. A minor score, the result. The Borough trail by 17. We've seen them go coast to coast a few times this afternoon. They go down the middle, looking for Hutt. And Toby Hutt takes a nice grab. Wants to play on quickly. Need it all to go right now to Sebas. If they want to pinch this one at McPherson Park. High ball to basically a 3-on-1. Favours the Bloods. Heaney's happy to see it over the line from Hill. And we'll get a ball in between half forward, centre wing on the broadcast side. 22 and a half played here in the final term at McPherson Park. 11-12-78 leads 9-7-61. We're back underway. Kirby fists it forward. Suda gets there first, bangs it out of the fence. In front was Walker, and he took it sublimely. Right foot kick goes towards half forward. Kite elects to keep it in. And the young boundary umpire, a long way away from that, sorted out of bounds. And Unfortunately, it was probably in the field of play. And it's cost Melton because Kite was bearing down the goal face. They lead by 17 points. They get to lock it inside forward 50. Kirby wins it down. Kite coming through. Hand pass was coughed up to Clark. Wobbles it out of the fence. Heaney and Hutt. Mahito down the Cotter. One whoopie tackler. Rolls. Step back into traffic. Dropped it. Gone. Holding the ball. Go the way of Widgery. Nothing to really aim at down the line. Hutt will have to be the target. In the end, Suda took the mark, backing back. And he'll go back in the fence and find Cotter. Best on ground course last year was Blake Suda in the grand final. And he'll get the footy back. Sting of the game wants to be taken out of here by Melton. Happy to just possess the footy from here. Dumps it down the line. There's Blake. And that will do it here, ladies and gentlemen. The Melton Bloods, 11 goals, 12, 78, defeating Sebastopol 9-7-61 here. 4 goals to Brodie Sullivan. Ryan Carter led the way for the Bloods with singles to Geordie Kite, Ryan Davis, Braden Kite, Liam Carter, Jack Walker, Adrian Mahito, and Zach Russell. Whilst for the Borough, 3 to Hutt. He led his way up forward. Hill with a couple of goals. Paps, Ben Hutt, James Keeble, and Liam Stowe with the goal kickers there. Melton, well, reigning premiers, side to beat, showed it again. Down by 24 points at one stage midway through the third term. Slammed home 5 unanswered goals to close out the third term. Got a 6 to start the fourth, and deserving victors and deserving very firm premiership favourites so far in season 2023. That is it here from McPherson Park. Well done to the Bloods. Can't wait to catch action next week here in the Ballarat Football Netball League. Until then, it's a bye for now.
Push buttons to park magically.
The McValue Bundle at Macca's. A choice of your favourite burgers, together with fries and drinks for just $26.95. Did we just find something the whole family can agree on?